I promised my Breaking Free group that I run on a Monday and Thursday. We're at the reparenting section of Pia Melody's Breaking Free book, and I promised them that I would put together just a little video instructional on Vicki Tidwell Palmer's 5-point boundary solution, which is basically Pia Melody's functional adult in a box. Now, this tool was created for partners of sex addicts so that under stress and really complex post-traumatic stress, that they could still put together boundaries that create safety under circumstances that are not ideal. Now, in recovery from complex post-traumatic stress disorder, having a template like this can be really useful, because when you're under stress and the mid part of the brain, the fire department of the brain, limbic system starts to get sort of activated, we lose that frontal cortex ability to executively think. So this tool really helps us to identify a few key things that start to head us in acting in our own best interest. So I'll be brief and to the point. You will find this available on VickiTidwellPalmer.com. It is from her book, Moving Beyond Betrayal, which is a great resource for partners that are dealing with betrayal issues around sex addiction. But this clarifier is free, and I'll just read her preamble. Now, Vicki is her bio is on her website, but she's studied under over 200 hours of training under Pia Melody herself. So she says here, in order to identify, create, and maintain effective boundaries, you must know your reality, the outcome that you want, where you have power to affect change, how to take action, and then how to evaluate your results. And so this 5-step boundary solution clarifier is designed to guide you step by step through that boundary setting process. So the first thing, sort of step 1, is identify your reality. Now, Pia Melody identifies reality just through the body, with of course with the nervous system, and the body incorporates that sort of embodied brain, how we collect data. The mind, that energy and motion as a creation of the brain. So the energy and motion that helps us identify meaning, emotions, and then the course of action. So this is it simplifies it, but when you're under fire, you really just need to know here the first step is knowing your reality, what's true for you about an issue. So essentially looking for the data. What did you hear, experience that you could probably sort of record? So non-diagnostically, just observationally, what happened? When you yelled at me and called me stupid would be a way of just outlining what happened. What did you observe? The second one is the thought. What did you make up about that? Now, what I would add to this, and this is an addition, if you want to get a little bit sort of curious about where you've come from and what influences the way you give meaning, the question to me is, well, what did I make up about this? What did I make up about you or the situation, if it's not a person? What do I make up about me? And what does it trigger from my past? So what do I make up about you? What do I make up about me? Especially core beliefs. And what does it trigger from my past? The 3 little things I add here just to give it clarity. Then it'll just ask you to identify a feeling. Now that seems simple, but the fact is when we're under fire, we can go numb, we can disassociate, and we disconnect away from our feelings. Or at best, we feel depressed or angry. Or the toxic versions of those, rage or depression. So what you want to do there is just identify the feelings. Now, the tip for me about asking what's a trigger from my past, that sometimes expands the palette of what if I make up something about you, I'm more likely to feel those protective feelings, fear or anger. But if I start to look at what do I make up about me, I'm more likely to feel the more personal feelings that are collected around me, like shame or guilt or fear or pain, loneliness. So the first step, what happened? What did I make up about it, and how do I feel about that? Now the next step for this is well to identify your needs and to create a vision. So what she's got here on this sheet is what needs of mine that from this situation didn't get met. Now these needs are, that Vicki guides us towards affection, authenticity and genuineness, autonomy and independence, closeness and touch, communication, community, companionship, freedom, honesty, harmony, mutuality, give and take, order and reliability, peace, respect, safety, stability, support, trust, and other. So what needs didn't get met of mine? And then she says, after you sort of like identify what are those needs, then it is, well, what's my vision for this? Now I know that at the Meadows they talk about what's my vulnerable request here. These are my needs. This is my responsibility. It's no one else's job to look after these needs. So what's my vulnerable request here? What's my preference? And so we need to identify that, and we write it down. And this is on part 2 of this step 2 of the solution. Now, once you've found your reality and identify your needs, the next question is to identify this power center. What power do I have here? And she has 4 main areas. Do I have the power to create change here, or do I have the power to create a different outcome for myself? Do I need help? Do I need to make a request? Or do I need to accept that I'm powerless and practice some radical acceptance? So it's basically saying here, do you have the power to create the result that you want without asking for help or making a request? If not, can you create the result you want with help from someone else? Or does the result require making a request of another person? Are you powerless to create a result? So what happens then is once you identify what you can do in step 3, step 4 then is about taking action. And from that identification of where you've got power, you go through and write out based on that answer. If I have power, what do I need to do to create the desired outcome? When will I complete this? If I need to ask for help, seek help from who? And what's the desired result? When am I likely to carry it out? The specific, if I need to make a request, what is the specific request I need to make? And ask the person if they're willing to, and then you write that out and get really clear on that. And then the other one is doing nothing. Release the problem because you're powerless to change it, or choose to do nothing because doing nothing is the best course of action. So it really pins us down. What from identifying our reality, from identifying what our needs and wants are, identifying where our power center is, what do we need to do? Now that's step 4. Now step 5 really is holding us accountable. Now if developmentally traumatized people, codependent people, largely if at first you don't succeed, give up. That's, we don't hold ourselves accountable. We disassociate. And these are adaptive responses that sort of kept us safe at one point in our life, but they fail to act in our best interest now. So the next one, the last page, step 5, is really evaluating the results, holding us accountable, and if the boundary missed the mark, what do I need to do? And it guides us then if there's broken agreements or boundary violations after someone's accepted it. It guides us through, where to go to next and what step to go back to. Now this has a little bit of information on the back of it around Vicki and her work and her website. There's some fantastic resources on vickitidwellpalmer.com. Moving Beyond Betrayal is a great book when you're trying to deal with infidelity in a relationship or sex addiction impact in a relationship. But I hope this little video has been helpful. It's just a way of when your brain's under stress, to just give you a handrail to identify who am I, what is going on for me, what are my needs, how do I then identify where my power is or where I'm powerless, how do I move then to create the change I need for me with accepting I'm powerless over others, and then how to hold myself accountable to make sure I see this thing through so I don't give up on acting in my own best interest. So this will be a warm-up for November, really. It being, what is it now, 23rd of October. But I hope I'll put this out on Facebook and Twitter just in case you guys are curious and interested, and I'll add the link to this boundary clarifier on Vicki's website. So take care, and hope to see you at a meeting somewhere. Bye.